want you to listen closely, because this is one of those stories that teaches quietly while it entertains loudly. This is the story of two sisters raised under the same roof, drinking from the same well of love, yet growing into very different hearts. From the outside, their home looked peaceful, warm, and ordinary. But inside, something unseen was slowly taking root, something dangerous. The elder sister, Amara, was known for her kindness. She spoke gently, worked hard, and carried herself with a calm confidence that made people trust her without effort. Teachers praised her, neighbors admired her, and opportunities seemed to find her naturally. Amara never boasted. In fact, she often shared her success. Believing there was enough light for everyone, her younger sister, Lila, watched everything in silence. She smiled when Amara smiled, clapped when others clapped, and laughed when laughter was expected. But inside her chest lived a storm she never spoke about. Every compliment Amara received felt like a quiet reminder of what Lila believed she lacked. Slowly, admiration turned into comparison, and comparison turned into resentment. What no one noticed was how carefully Lila studied her sister, her habits, her weaknesses, her fears. While Amara trusted easily, Lila learned patiently. While Amara dreamed openly, Lila listened and remembered. And somewhere between shared bedrooms and family dinners, a dangerous thought began to form in Lila's mind. You see, jealousy rarely announces itself loudly. It whispers. It pretends to be pain. It disguises itself as fairness. And by the time anyone realizes what it has become, it is often too late. But what exactly did Lila plan? And how far would she go to step out of her sister's shadow? That secret is where this story truly begins on.
Now listen carefully, because this is where the silence between the sisters began to speak louder than words. Time passed, and life started opening doors for Amara in ways no one could ignore. A scholarship offer arrived, followed by a chance to work with a respected organization in the city. Each opportunity felt earned, yet to Lila, it felt stolen, taken from a future she believed should have been hers. I must tell you something important here. Amara never once thought of herself as better than her sister. In fact, she trusted Lila more than anyone else. She shared her excitement, her fears, and even her plans. Late at night, under dim bedroom lights, Amara spoke about her dreams. Unaware that every word was being quietly stored away like a weapon, Lila's jealousy matured into strategy. She began planting small seeds of doubt around Amara, subtle comments to relatives, carefully worded stories to friends. Nothing outright false, just enough to bend the truth. She's been acting distant lately, Lila would say softly. Success changes people. And slowly, people started watching Amara differently. Then came the mistake that changed everything. Amara received an invitation to a high-profile interview, one that could secure her future forever. Excited, she left the acceptance email open on the shared computer. Lila saw it. She read it. And in that moment, jealousy stopped being a feeling and became a decision. That night, while Amara slept peacefully, Lila sat alone, staring at the glowing screen. Her hands trembled, not from fear, but from desire. She told herself it was justice. She told herself it was fate correcting an imbalance. With one careful action, she changed everything. By morning, Amara's future had quietly disappeared, without a sound, without a trace. But what exactly did Lila do? And why would this single action set off a chain of consequences neither sister could escape?
Stay with me, because this is the chapter where truth begins to bleed through the cracks. When morning came, Amara woke with a familiar excitement beating in her chest. The interview was only days away, and her mind was already racing with preparation. But when she checked her email, her smile faded. The invitation was gone. No confirmation. No reminder. Just silence where hope once lived. At first, Amara blamed herself. Maybe she imagined it. Maybe she forgot to reply. That was the kind of person she was, quick to doubt herself before doubting anyone else. She searched through folders, refreshed the page again and again, and finally sat on the edge of her bed, confused and shaken. What she didn't know was that Lila was watching her from the doorway, studying every reaction. I need you to understand how carefully Lila played her role. She pretended concern, suggesting technical errors, offering comfort with soft words and fake sympathy. These things happen, she said gently. Maybe something better is coming. And Amara believed her, because betrayal is hardest to recognize when it comes from someone you love. Weeks passed, and the consequences deepened. The opportunity went to someone else. Amara's confidence cracked. People who once praised her began questioning her reliability. Meanwhile, Lila quietly stepped forward, applying for similar opportunities using information she had secretly gathered over the years. For the first time, attention turned toward her, and she felt powerful, but jealousy has a weakness: it grows reckless. One evening, a family friend mentioned the interview email, asking why Amara never showed up. The room went quiet. Lila's breath caught. Amara froze. Something didn't add up anymore. That night, unable to sleep, Amara checked the computer's activity history. What she found made her hands shake and her heart sink. There it was, proof that someone else had accessed her email, and the name attached to that access was the one she never expected.
Listen closely, because this is where the story stops being about jealousy and starts being about choice. Amara did not confront Lila immediately. Instead, she spent the night in silence, replaying every memory they shared, every moment of trust she had given freely. By morning, her tears had dried, replaced by something stronger: clarity. She realized that anger would only give jealousy another victory. When Amara finally spoke, her voice was calm but steady. She presented the evidence without insult or shouting. Lila tried to deny it at first, then cried, then blamed the family, fate, even Amara herself. But lies collapse when faced with truth. The room felt heavy as Lila's actions came fully into the light. Trust was broken, and no apology could instantly repair it. Here is the twist most people don't expect. Amara chose not to destroy her sister in return. She reported the truth where necessary, clearing her own name, but she refused revenge. She walked away from the shared space, rebuilt her path, and applied again, this time on her own terms. Months later, Amara earned a new opportunity, one greater than the first, because resilience speaks louder than reputation. Lila, on the other hand, gained attention briefly but lost respect permanently. People no longer trusted her words. Opportunities closed quietly, just as they had for Amara before. And for the first time, Lila understood the true cost of envy: not losing success, but losing herself. Moral lesson: jealousy is a silent thief. It steals peace, destroys trust, and poisons relationships long before it brings any reward. Another person's success does not reduce your worth, but sabotaging others will always sabotage your future. Growth comes from effort, not envy, and character will always outlive competition, and that, my listener, is why the most dangerous rival is not the world, but the jealousy we allow to grow inside our own hearts.